So you're in a situation where it seems as if like it's not going to be over anytime soon. If that's you, then I have a message for you. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Just a Verse. My name is Bridget, and I picked just a verse from the Bible, elaborate on it, and support it with instances, stories, and experiences. So let's jump right into the video. The verse we're going to be working on is John chapter 7, verse 6. And it says, "Therefore, Jesus told them, my time is not here yet. For you, any time will do." So before we talk about that verse, let me just give you a brief summary of the few verses before the 7. Okay, so around that time, in the beginning of the chapter, it said Jesus was in Galilee because he didn't want to go to Judea because the Jews wanted to kill him, the elders. So his brothers wanted to go to a festival, but they also wanted Jesus to go with them. So they told him that he should just go and make his work known. Like he should just go to the festival and do his work over there. But then Jesus told them that no, his time is not here yet. So he told them that he is not going to go to the festival because his time is not here yet. His brothers left. Right after his brothers left, Jesus also left to the festival. So for that whole story, some people couldn't really grasp it, right? So they were saying that, how come Jesus said he was not going to go? So how come Jesus went? So we're going to talk about it. So what does that verse mean? My time is not here yet. What does it mean? Okay, so we know that it means that it's not the right time, right? It's not the right time. So Jesus said it wasn't the right time. So we all see that Jesus left right after his brothers. So to explain that whole incident, right? Okay, so let's just say his brothers asked Jesus around 1 p.m. Like, Jesus, are you going to go to the festival? And he was just like, no, I'm not going to go because it's not the right time. And his brothers left around, let's just say 3 p.m. And then Jesus decided to leave right after that. You see, around 1 p.m., it wasn't the right time for Jesus. But at 3 p.m., it was the right time for Jesus. So we do see that it was just not the right time for him when it was 1 p.m. So we're going to relate that verse to our lives. Maybe God has told you that it's not your time. Maybe you've had dreams that mean that it's not your time. Or maybe you heard it clear, like you got a prophecy like, hey, I know you need this thing, but it's not your time, right? So in this video, we're going to see how whenever you get a message that says that God said it's not your time, we're going to see that if God says it's not your time, it doesn't mean that means that your time is going to be next 10 years. So we're going to relate that to our lives. Example could be like a student has been writing a test countless times, and whenever this student write the test, they end up failing. So because of the numerous times they failed, right, they decide to just postpone it. Like, you know what? I feel like maybe it's not my time. Let me just wait years, because the way that this situation looks like it's not going to be over anytime soon. But in a situation like that, this student just needs to keep praying, because yes, it's true that this student has been failing because it's not their time, but their time could be in like a month. So you see that the student decides not to give up, and it takes the test in, like, let's just say weeks later, this student ends up passing. So even though it was not their time a few weeks ago, it didn't mean that that means that their time is going to be in years. You see, so that's how a situation like that relates to that verse. An instance could be somebody in a bad health condition. They've been praying to God, and now it seems like the health problem has even gotten severe. Like now it's a really severe bad condition. So now when they look at how bad the situation has become, this person starts to think like, okay, looks like it's just not my time. But guess what? Even though it was not that person's time on that day, 2 days later, God could heal this person. So that's another way how that situation relates to that verse. So I'm gonna go ahead and share a story that relates to that verse. Okay, so I came across this video on YouTube, and the person who shared the story name is Kashina. So I'm gonna summarize her story. God told her to move into a house. You know, God gave her the vision and everything, and she moved into a house, right? So she got approved for the house, and now she's in the house, and guess what? She loses her job. So she loses her job, and now she starts applying for jobs. You know, she's worried, applying for jobs, for countless jobs, and nobody is calling her. So one time, finally, I think it was months later, one of the jobs called her. So she went for the interview, everything went well, and then she was getting ready to start. So once she got the schedule, she realized that it was not going to help her because it conflicted with the time that she had to take her daughter to school. So once she came into a realization that that was going to be a problem, she called the school, and then she said she just needs some time to just think about this whole situation. So, you know, of course, she was really sad about it. Like, wow, I've gotten this great opportunity finally, and now this is the problem. So she talked to God. She prayed, and what God told her was, it's not your time. And another sign that she got, which was a confirmation, was that she said she was reading her Bible, and then she just saw let go. So she just knew that God said she should just let go of that job, right? Because God said it wasn't her time. So, of course, you know, she had no choice, but she loves God. She had to be obedient. So she called the school, and then she told them that, hey, I know I told you I had to start and stuff like that, but like right now, because of this situation, I can't further process it with you anymore. And school said, oh, you know, we're going to try to work things out. You know what? You could just bring your daughter. We could change your daughter to our district. They were just trying to make the situation work out, right? But because Kashina heard God saying that it's not your time, she just had to be obedient. So she just said, it was a great idea. That would have worked out perfectly for her. But she was just like, no, I'm sorry, I still have to let go. So she let go of that job, and she was just like, you know what, God, right now, I don't know what to do anymore. I just surrender. Oh, I just don't know what to do. And if we were in a situation like that, I don't know if I was in a situation like that, I would just be like, okay, God said it's not time now. So you would probably think that, okay, if it's not time now, then it's probably later. Like, I should just forget it, right? But so she just said, you know what, God, I surrender all to you because right now I just don't know what to do. The next day, she got an email from a different job that she's supposed to come for an interview. So she searched the job, and she ended up realizing that the job actually related to an assignment for God. So that job related to what she was doing for God. So it worked out perfectly. And then that's when she realized that, okay, so that's why God said it wasn't my time around that time. So even though it wasn't her time the day before, the next day it was her time. So that could also be your story. You're probably waiting on a breakthrough. I don't know what it is, but whatever situation that you're in, and that situation probably looks like, okay, the way the situation looks like, I don't feel like it's time. But the message that I have for you is that just keep praying and do not quit, because maybe it's not your time today, but tomorrow is going to be your time. So don't decide to just give up on God, but you just have to keep praying that, yes, it's true, it's not my time now. But if God says it's not my time now, it doesn't mean that my time is going to be in like 20 years. If God says it's not my time now, my time could be in 2 days, my time could be in a month. So I'm just going to keep praying. So even if your dreams prove that the situation is not going to be over anytime soon, even if you heard clearly from God that it's not your time yet, even if it just looks like it looks impossible, like it looks like this situation that I'm in, it's not going to happen anytime soon, still do not abandon God and just keep pushing, just keep praying to God, because yes, it's true, it's not your time now. Same thing as Jesus' story. It wasn't his time. That same day, he said he's not going to go to the festival because it's not the right time. But that same day was actually the right time for him. So that could also be your story. You're probably in a situation where right now you just feel like, no, I'm just going to give up. I'm done. I'm going to stop praying because it just feels like it's going to take forever. But I'm here to give you the message that even though you are in that situation, have faith that yes, it's true. The situation looks impossible. The situation looks like it's not going to be happening anytime near, like anytime soon. But the same story as Jesus, could also be your story. Weeping may happen at night, but joy comes in the morning. So your situation can be changed in just a day. So I'm here to tell you that stop crying and just keep trusting God. Whatever circumstance that you're in today that you feel like quitting, do not quit, because yes, it's not your time today, but it could be your time tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it blessed you. And like always, don't forget to like this video, comment, share, show some love. And if God permits, see you when I upload my next video.